everyone. Well, today is I gotta check that again and make sure I'm right. Yeah, the 9th of April 2019. Hello, everyone, as you come in. I'm Roy Potter. This is the Potter Expositor, but it's going to be a short one. I'm not going to be doing a formal live stream today, but because of the situation, actually, I'm traveling, and because of I wasn't going to do anything, but I decided to because of my information to you last week, where I showed you that that some people were kind of giving me a little bit of trouble, kind of following me around. So I didn't want anybody to think that they had absconded with me or anything like that. So that's the main reason why I wanted to do that. Again, hello everyone. So this is going to be very short. I think there's a lot of coverage that is happening right now that you can go check with other folks. Of course, I'm certainly not the be all end all, other than just yeah, I'm in a camper. Yeah, sure am. And having my coffee, I keep my cup with me just about everywhere I go. So really, the only thing I've got for you this morning is so you can get to your business is that I don't know about you all, but I'm tired of the endless investigations with no results. I don't care who's doing it. Now, Devin Nunes and Jim Jordan and that group, they've all been very brave, very courageous, very hardworking. And we have information that they're going to submit criminal referrals to Barr, the AG, this week and more later. It looks like they're going to be as many as possibly 2 dozen. But this is still waiting and waiting and waiting when I hear all these people talking about conservative hate speech and all that. Well, look at the Dems and the leftist Marxist hate speech, and nothing ever happens to them for it. It just shows you who's really in control. So my faith in Barr, I can't say that it's increased a whole lot right yet, but it's looking more positive as far as I can tell. I'll feel a lot better when somebody's in handcuffs. I definitely will. They were able to go so quickly on people like, well, we already know that the deal with Manafort. If you've been listening to Dan Bongino at all, and anybody, Sarah Carter, even Lee Stranahan, a lot of these people, you'll know that Mueller knew that the Russiagate investigation was a farce probably as early as June 2017 or earlier, because his lead man Wiseman knew about that, and that he went to Rosenstein after. Well, he went after Manafort. He needed some bad guys, so he went after Manafort and Gates and all that other stuff, and then finally ended up on Roger Stone about several months later, year later. But he went to Rosenstein for an expanded guidance. I forget what they call that right now. Just got up actually. So and they expanded it to something else, and it's classified, redacted, whatever. Well, we haven't seen it yet, but apparently it was to allow Mueller to look at obstruction of justice, which if you don't have a crime, you don't have obstruction. It's really, the whole thing has been ridiculous, and I know most of you know that. Good morning, everyone. So I'm not going to stay with that. All I'm bringing out is that uh, Barr has all that information at his fingertips. These investigations shouldn't take 90 days, 6 months, a year. No, there's no reason for that, and that's why I'm probably more impatient than you all are, because I know how law enforcement works. I know how investigations work, and all this stuff is right there at his fingertips. Huber, no, Huber's nothing. Marine Corps Staff Sergeant. I'm afraid he's just not. I think Barr has called him in. I got some information that Barr said, "Where's your work product?" And apparently there wasn't much, and that's one of the reasons. Apparently that Barr said he was disappointed and upset the way this investigation into the Clinton deal and the emails has gone, and the FBI and DOJ. Like I said, I worked with Huber. I understand how things work there in Utah, and the cover-ups that occur. Now, don't depend on Huber. If he comes out with anything, it's going to be because Barr got on his butt. But he's done nothing. If you listen to Tonsig and DeGeneva and these other people, Huber's done nothing since Sessions gave him that letter, and that was really all it was just to placate the Republicans. and the conservatives. Anyway, getting back on Barr, there's no reason why something significant can't happen quickly. They've had how long to investigate McCabe now? McCabe should be under arrest. Strzok should be under arrest. Well, I'd like to say Comey and Brennan too. Brennan is the main guy in all this. I think, I've been saying that for a long time. Comey was second down the list there. So maybe they'll start moving on them. I just don't know. Like I said, I'm tired of the endless investigations with no results. Nunes seems to have taken this thing faster than anybody else has. So I got to thank him. He's been a real patriot and very very courageous. Uh, but there's an old saying, ever studying, ever learning, and never coming to a knowledge of the truth. Well, that seems to be our country these days in every way. Evil, they embrace quickly and completely. Tolerance above and beyond common sense and reason and self-preservation, and we've just gone down a really bad road. So I'm not going to take a lot of time this morning. As I said, I just wanted to let you all know that everything's fine. I'm out and about, and I don't know how many formal ones I'll be doing in the next week or so. But at any rate, I'll keep you informed if anything does happen that I'm concerned about. Like I said, these investigations are the big thing right now, and I have I have no patience with the games that are being played at the federal government level in these delays. There's no reason for this. The border is a problem, as I've said. I'm not going to go about and talk about that. You already know how serious that is. I will say that some information came out just here the other day where they've admitted that the cartels are in the government. I've been saying that entire drug war in Mexico was a cover for an insurrection, for an insurgency that was fueled by the United States. That's what I've said all along. And here we are. Now we have people admitting that the drug cartels control all the politics. Now we've known that for a while, but it's starting to come out. So we have a real problem down there. We've started an insurgency. As far as I'm concerned, the U.S. military can go in there. The wall should be built on the Mexican side. Of course, it'd never get maintained there, but as far as I'm concerned, the military could go in and take out these cartels as guerrilla um, warfare units, as insurgents. I mean, we go into Syria without being invited, and that's not even, other than, oil fields and pipelines, uh, that's really not an area that we should be concerned with. We've caused a lot of damage there. And yet on our southern border, which is a real problem for us, we won't take the necessary steps to protect ourselves, our countrymen, or even the good Mexican people, the good ones that are there. So that's all I've got for you. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for coming. I'm going to hit the road. And yeah, Barr is to testify on the Hill. I know that. Like I said, Barr is doing some good things, but and they say that the wheels of government grind very slowly, but they grind very fine. But I also see this as all delay, all delay. Uh, you hear these Democrats and these leftist Marxists and the MSM. They're still making all of these false accusations against people with no proof. And it would seem like to me, if I were in their position, I'd be cowering right now. I'd be going, "Oh crap, I've really stuck my neck out here, and they're going to come after me. I better start, backpedaling and making some apologies." Oh no, the only person that we've seen do that to any great degree was Brennan. Remember what Brennan said? Well, I guess I got some information that was incorrect. This a former CIA director. Yeah, I've already commented on that ridiculous ass statement. But people like Schiff and Schumer and Pelosi and Feinstein, and Swalwell, and we could go on down the list. Keeping up on this, not repenting, not backing off, but pressing the fight when they know they're wrong. Evil people, ladies and gentlemen, people that won't repent of their wrongdoing, they show who they are and they're evil. That's really what they are. Okay, I'm going to let you go. You guys can go get your information, and we'll be back up in a few days, and we'll start talking if some things start happening. I'm really looking forward to newness information when this gets filed, and we know who it is. We have a pretty good idea, of course, but we're really excited to see that these people may be called to task. Barr doesn't need any more investigation, as I've said, and hiding behind that more investigation has to be done is a delaying tactic, as far as I'm concerned. All right, so we'll just keep an eye out and hope for the best, but be ready for any eventuality. This is when it gets really bad now. Bad things can happen. Um, the Christchurch thing in New Zealand, that was a beta test, and the New Zealanders are having their guns confiscated and their First Amendments taken away. And as I said before, look at all the people wearing hijabs there now, all the women. That's a sign of liberation. You know how I feel about that if you've been around me for any length of time. Um, this has all been a judgment on Western societies because of our arrogance and our insolence and our wickedness and even evil. But we need to repent. And if we repent, this whole thing can turn around. Do I see that happening? No. It's going to balkanize, as I've said. That's why I say you need to get ready. All right. Prep, pray, stay out of the way. Go get that AR-15. All right. You're not going to take on the government. Not for that. It's to protect you against the roving bands and the drug cartels and the terrorists and those types of folks. All right. And if you have a competent government authority that's standing by the Constitution, you can go offer your assistance to them. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay, get together with like-minded people, get your food, water, and all that other stuff. You never know. I've been saying it for a long time, and people say, "Oh, gee, right? Well, nothing's ever happened." I wouldn't bet going that way. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Hey, we'll talk to you about some things later when I get back on, which will be in a few days, or if something significant happens, I'll pop on. Okay. All right.